More of this play, Sri Lanka. This was a great shot.
Cricket shot. Yeah. Beautiful.
The cover drives played well.
Comes in again to Rajapaksa. That's a short one, and he's got something on that. They're going to run one as it goes down to the right of the wicketkeeper.
Here, Sir Clive, Sri Lanka would be aiming for.
They must get one over 160.
60, okay.
If they don't, it's a good pitch.
Hopefully 10 and over from here. That's your prediction. Do they have the firepower of the batting lineup to do it?
Well, the point is how many batters and the quality of the batters to come.
Well, I would also be confident to know that they've seen off 4 overs from Zampa. Stark's only got 1 left. Hazelwood's got 1 left after this, so they won't have the strike bowlers for the final couple. As this time Hazelwood comes in, and it's a defensive put.
So looking at 7 at the run rates. Hazelwood has gone for 7 in this over. He's got 1 more to come. Yet to pick up a wicket. So it's bowled pretty steady. The Sri Lankan pace attack is on average about 10k. Sri Lanka, that's a little bit down the leg side. They'll get a signal down to square leg to finish the over on 106. Rajapaksa is on 10, Schneider on 3. So 5 more to come here in Dubai. This is match number 22. Sri Lanka versus Australia. It's in Group 1 of the Super 12s.
So Aaron Finch is going to be continuing along with his strike bowlers. He's brought back Mitchell Stark. He's then brought back Josh Hazelwood. It's going to be Pat Cummins. Current figures of 1 for 21 off his 2 overs. Rather expensive, so Sri Lanka will want to continue on that rate. Good pitch here. Good conditions for batting. Around about 25, 26 degrees here in Dubai. And as we look at the field, there's the fielder. There's no one at long off. There's a long on, deep square leg, also a fine leg, and Glenn Maxwell is out. A deep cover. Cummins in again. And they think about the quick single, but no. They just push back. Just a defensive prod there on the onside. So Sri Lanka, we know they've won a World Cup in this tournament. Australia never really. They made 1 World Cup final. They're a proud cricketing nation. They would like to win a trophy in this form of the game.
Well, they've won pretty much everything else, haven't they?
We had a good run for a while, yeah.
Cummins in again. Oh, he's got something on this. This is high, and it should be. No, it's just dropped. Stark unable to get it, and that was down towards cover.
And it was Mick went under 2 runs for Sri Lanka. To tick under 7 and over, they'll need to get it up to somewhere. Going to post a competitive total. It's a defensive push to the man Glenn Maxwell there at deepish points, and Cummins 1 for 23 of his 2.3 deliveries.
The point is that in the next couple of overs, they'll need to get some boundaries.
Yeah.
Chances, I think, very well.
Well, there's 4 overs left, so you'll assume Stark, Hazelwood, and Cummins will get another one, and perhaps Glenn Maxwell could be the bowler they target to try and get some runs. It'll either be Maxwell or Stones that will bowl another over. As Rajapaksa's on strike, it's Pat Cummins, and it's a shorter delivery, and Rajapaksa just tried to glide that one. He's over the keeper or the vacant slip position. He's looking at the umpire thinking it's a no ball. He's not getting anything from umpire Alim Dar, so dot ball is added to the total. As we see the replay, it's could have gone either way.
Well, Maxwell had 1 over for 16 earlier on, so
a
bit of a chance maybe.
Could be Stoinis perhaps that's brought on, as this time it's sort of a...
What a spell by Zampa, 4 for 12.
Yeah, fantastic figures.
Impressive.
in this form of the game. He's not a huge turner of the ball, but as we saw, it's the googly and the leg break. Batsmen are unable to really differentiate between the two that's made him prove so successful. As we see a fielding change here. Fielder, it's mid-on who's coming up. And then a deep square leg is going back to Pat Cummins. For Pat Cummins. Sort of a... No, this time it's a wide that's been called. Slower ball from Pat Cummins. It's the 115 kilometres an hour.
Sri Lanka looking to get runs any way they can here.
That's what he was trying to do there. Whether he was trying to nick it, I think he realised it was going to be a wide, so sort of gave a half-hearted pull, scoop. I'm not sure what it was.
Got hold of that one, and it was going to be just one though, as it's just lands short of the man coming in from deep mid-wicket. So another one to the total. All the ones. Nelson, 1-1-1 for...
From run rate of 11 now, they've set run rate is to 6.9. They've done extremely well to restrict them to this total.
I think it's probably, like you were saying, it's the use of the bowlers. You know, I think Aaron Finch has known when to bring back in his fast bowler, how to keep Adam Zampa on to bowl out his four. And this has been a great way to come back. But Sri Lanka, no, they've got these two that are sitting. You were saying, Sir Clive, Marcus Stoinis, the man with the golden touch.
Yep.
2 overs for 18, so he's been expensive. But he gave an interview this week when he was very cool. He gave an interview this week where he was very cool in the last couple of overs as Stoinis starts his third over and it's pushed on the onside. Now, someone asked him, how did you keep your cool in the final over against South Africa? And he gave the response, as a Greek Australian, it's very hard for me to not get emotional. But I managed to do it to get Australia to victory.
So the two innings of note here were Kusal Pasero got 35 and Atalanka 35. When they were in together, that was looking good for Sri Lanka, but since then it's really been all Australia here. Some excellent bowling, and now they find themselves 111 for 5 with just 3.5 overs to come.
So Stoinis with his medium paces in again. It's a fuller ball. And it's pulled across. Yeah, the fielder at square leg wasn't able to stop it in time, so Rajapakse gets a needed boundary, slower one from Stoinis, 115 kilometres an hour. I think it was a slower Yorker he was going for there, and it just went wide.
Yeah, he nearly fell over himself trying to get to it, the batsman. But, so not the most elegant four he'll ever get, but they all count.
So this is a good partnership here. Gone from 5 for 94 to now be 5 for 116.
Rajapakse is facing again. What's Stoinis going to do here? That's a short one, and he's pulled that one away, and that's going to be 4 more over square leg. And all of a sudden, we get a couple of boundaries, and Sri Lanka move on to 120.
He looked good there. I think that Rajapakse knew that Stoinis was going to come in and bowl a short one. He predicted it, and with aggression, he kept on the front foot, and he was able to... What a front foot pull shot. That's like Viv Richards in his day, isn't it?
It was Viv-esque, wasn't it, Sir Clive?
It's not as stylish as Viv. Front foot drive. And it was umpire Alim Dar at square leg that had to duck for that one. So 3 4s for Rajapakse for his 19 or 14 deliveries. Sri Lanka need him in at the end.
Oh, that's big again, and that is going to be 6 straight back down the ground. It had the legs on it, and it's into the stand. 6 more. What an over this is.
15 off the first 4 of this over from Marcus Stoinis. Even coach Mickey Arthur of Sri Lanka is laughing at that one. That's a beautiful strike down the ground. It's about 75 metres, that straight boundary. And as soon as the ball hit the bat, Marcus Stoinis didn't need to look up. He was looking at the ground. He knew where that one was going. That's a maximum.
That went just beneath her.
I think he just didn't come into him such a not go too shifty. Because at his pace, the guy's going to be able to swing hard at anything.
Well, that's wide-ish, and that's going to be called a wide, is it?
No.
It's full on, 114. kilometres per hour. Run rate's 7.5 now, so a bit of acceleration here from Sri Lanka. Still 3.1 overs to come.
It's good to see some Sri Lankan supporters that have been slowly getting into the grounds. A lot of Sri Lankan flags that are here. There's some drums. There's this time, well, it's Rajapakse who charges Marcus Stoinis this time, and he knows it. That's again been called a wide. So this is becoming an expensive over. The slower ball going wrong again for Marcus Stoinis. Sri Lanka 127 for 5.
Yeah, he's already on for 34 as Stoinis. Hasn't picked up a wicket.
Well, we were saying it was Glenn Maxwell who went 1 over for 16, so he thought Aaron Finch thought he would turn to Marcus Stoinis, but no, this time that's way over the head. Stoinis in again. It's a whitish ball.
Big runs. Should get 2 here, down to mid-wicket. Yeah, he played it last second. He decided to just got 1 in the end. So 17 off that over.
And Marcus Stoinis, not good figures there. None for 35 off his 3. We know with 3 overs left, we'll probably see 1 from Stark, 1 from Hazelwood, and 1 from Pat Cummins to finish off. And there, let's get the total of 160.
As you say, if Rajapakse can stick around, then they've got half a chance, haven't they?
No, 10 and over they need off these last 3.
This is exciting, though. I'm enjoying this. It is the ebb and flow of T20 international cricket. Sri Lanka showing some fight here.
And they'd like this, because remember, this is an Australian side where Aaron Finch and David Warner have had mixed form. Stephen Smith, he played well in the previous game, but he only is really going to run a ball. Was dropped from his IPL side. And they'll be quite confident if they can get this score up to 150, 160. Sri Lanka will certainly back themselves here.
Yeah. Fuller wickets, 15 for 1,
now
76 for 2.
Now with the fielding change here, Sir Clive, there's 4 men outside the circle on the leg side. So there's a trap that's being set here by Pat Cummins.
That's another wide.
Well, are the wheels coming off here for Australia?
They've lost their line for them at the moment.
There was wide deliveries from the previous owner from Marcus Stoinis that went for 17. It also meant that Rajapakse, the in-form batsman, 26 off 17s on strike. Cummins continues. There's the fade back away, and this time it's pulled around, but there's a fielder there at fine leg. It's Josh Hazelwood, so they'll just get the single, and they move along to 130 for 5.
So they lost wickets at 15, 78, 86, 90, and the last one at 94. That's the scores.
So this is good. This is a good 36-run partnership.
Yeah, Cummins is the bowler. Shanaka's going to be facing the Rajapakse. Still there. He's got 27 at the non-strikers end.
I think we'll see Stark next over, and then maybe Josh Hazelwood, who I think's...
Yeah, Stark's got 1, Hazelwood's got 1.
Behind points, a couple of fielders behind point rather, outside the circle as there's no run.
Stoinis has got 1.
I don't think they're going to go back to Marcus Stoinis for some reason.
Could be right.
Just a hunch.
Yeah, he can bowl on in the next game.
Yeah.
If he's playing.
I think he'll play, yeah, definitely.
I'm going to just drop out for a moment as Anurag Malhotra comes on.
Cummins comes in, 1 for 29 off his 3.2 deliveries. It's a whitish ball. What a shot! It's a glorious cover drive from Shanaka. Well, we've been seeing that Rajapakse has been scoring all the runs, but Shanaka wants to get involved. That has been creamed through the covers. And 4 runs gets added to this Sri Lankan total, 134 for 5.
That's a pretty good shot. A beef behind it, or on the ground, and just bisecting the cover fielders.
Wasn't the most elegant looking cover shot, but the way he hit it along the ground and split the fielders, he'll be very happy with that, especially off one of the great bowlers of world cricket now, Pat Cummins.
Absolutely, and very good partnership here. Oh, beautifully hit. He's skied it. He hasn't. Oh, not so beautifully hit. Actually, he got the edge, and the wicket keeper there, Matthew Wade. Thank you very much.
Yeah, it was a whitish ball. He's backed away, and he's only got a top edge. It's got a long way in the air, and Matthew Wade's gone back maybe 5-10 yards to take that catch. So he rushed of blood after that cover shot. He thought he could do it again, could Shanaka. He goes 12 of 19, just as this partnership was growing and we were thinking they could edge towards this 160 total. It's partnership, a good one, partnership of 40 runs.
They didn't need to lose a wicket at this stage because they were doing quite well, striking the ball very well. I don't know. Low players, these low guys, how good they are at sort of getting the ball to the boundary.
Well, they'll have the pace of the ball with Australia's pace bowlers left to be able to work with. Karuna Ratne is coming in here at number 8, and it's all about just giving Rajapakse the strike at this stage.
And Kitch, it's time for us to play a predictor game.
Well,
we have Sir Clive Lloyd with us. Kitch, you're there, and okay, who's going first?
Well, 134 for 6. Look, I'm going to call 155 at this stage.
150.
150.
150. Well, I have to be different. That's why. So this is going to be less than 150.
Okay, so Pat Cummins comes in again. We're going to say 145. So you going to
Anything less than 150.
Okay. So 2.1 overs left. 134 for 6. So Clive was saying they need a total of around 160 if they're going to be competitive against a strong Australian lineup.
Oh, well, that expression on Matthew Wade's face
explains it all. They couldn't believe how lucky he got.
Got the easiest, the dollies of catches there. And next one, again, this one is played behind the wicket keeper there. Fine leg fielder comes in, doesn't reach the boundary, and just a couple of runs.
So ends the 18th over. 7 runs from it from Pat Cummins. The Aussies will take that at this stage. 2 overs left, 12 legal deliveries remaining. It's 135 for 6.
And Rajapakse has played well earlier also in the tournament. He's in good form. He's got a good start here, 28 of 20. I think Karunaratne would be well advised to try to give as much strike to Rajapakse because he's a man who's been in for a while. Until unless, of course, he can connect 1 or 2 very well and, accelerate the Sri Lankan score.
Yeah, Rajapakse, the good thing is for Sri Lanka is he's on strike to face this over from Mitchell Starc. So it will be Josh Hazlewood that'll bowl the final delivery. Stark's going to try and bowl them. What do you think, Sir Clive? In-swinging Yorkers, that's what he's going to go for?
Oh, he's going to bowl Yorkers, there's no doubt about that, and he bowls them at pace. And these lower order batsmen, I'm not so sure they can handle it.
Rajapakse this time, he backs away and this time it comes off his pad, so the fielder at point is able to just push it, save it to be a single. 136 for 6.
Yes, he started with that full-up delivery. Didn't allow the batsman, I think the pace unsettled the batsman there, was not able to get really his bat onto the ball. And so good first delivery, first up, starting over number 18 to start with a good first up delivery. And we'll see how these two batsmen now can actually take this 135 for 6 to a score which is somewhere around 155, 160 as we've been saying, because that would be a good total to defend.
Stark again, this time he's coming around the wickets, and Karuna Ratne, well, what a first ball shot to play, lifting Stark over the infield, 4 runs.
Absolutely, and Sir Clive Lloyd, as you were saying, not very sure how the tailenders are going to play, or the lower order batsmen. So Karunaratne is just shown his intent. The first delivery is faced and has hit it pretty well. Played the field, and another 4 added to the total of Sri Lanka.
It just shows you too that how good this pitch is. It wasn't too short, it wasn't there, it was just helped it over it off.
This is pitch number 7. It's a couple over from the one we saw the other night between England and the West Indies. Starkin again, continuing going around the wickets, and no big shot from Karunaratne at this stage. He just pushes it through to the man at mid-off for a single.
Sensible batting. Just got a 4 and now he's rotated to strike. Got Rajapakse on strike, who's batting on 28 of 21. Sri Lanka 141 for 6. And yes, from here it seems it's going to be more like Kitch, what you said, or what Sir Clive Lloyd said.
So Clive, you thought 160 is what they need.
160 is not anything over 160.
Here we go, Starkin again over the wicket, strays down leg. Rajapakse is a bit disappointed with himself. He would like to have done more with that delivery. But instead, they just put it through for a single, and it also means that the new batsman, Karunaratne, is the man on strike.
Yeah, I think he missed out on that delivery. It was on the pads, and all it required was to be guided away from the fielders, and yeah, a boundary delivery definitely. But a lot of pressure. Both teams trying to give their best. 142 for 6, over number 19. 2 more deliveries left. Run rate of 7.61, and it is Karunaratne facing Mitchell Starc.
This was a good ball, a full Yorker, but there was nearly a mix-up there, causing a run out. It was Mitchell Starc who had the shy at the bowler's end as Rajapakse was trying to get back. Foolish from Starc, pushes it through as Mitchell Marsh picks up. Oh, he would have been out by a long way had he hit. And it was, well, the kind of throw that makes the fielding coach make you want to do extra practice tomorrow.
Another 20 rounds.
I think so.
His 4th over.
On what is a good pitch that's going to hold up for the Australian innings. The man in form, 28 of 22 deliveries. Drives from him. They look good.
I doubt he'll be able to play cover drives, but you never know. And it's that man is bowled pretty well. Hasn't picked up a wicket today, but he's just given 18 runs in his 3 overs. So it's been very, very economical. And another over like that, I think, should do the trick for Australia.
Yeah, I think he'd take that at this stage.
I think that 11 are over. They've done very well to pull this back.
To less than 8 as of now, yes, absolutely. Rajapakse 28 of 22, Karunaratne 7 of 4. Josh Hazelwood, left arm, coming in to bowl his last over.
Hazelwood in. It's Rajapakse who pulls away to the leg side. This could be 4 runs. It's a tie from Pat Cummins, and it's oh no. He managed to stop it, but not well enough. And then on the second attempt, he's kicked the ball away, and it's got away for 4 Sri Lanka. A bit of luck, they need that. 4 runs, 148 for 6.
Absolutely, they'll take it anyway, and it was a valiant effort. He stopped the ball, but the ball just eluded him, and it hit his body and then rolled over and hit the fence. Great effort, no avail.
Well, the Sri Lankan dressing room are applauding that. There's a few legends in there, Chaminda Bus and Michaela Jayawardene. As this time it's on leg side from Josh Hazelwood, and they'll just be happy with that as Josh Hazelwood is indicating a couple of field changes here.
Rajapakse was standing a bit outside his leg stump because he wanted to play a big stroke, and Hazelwood saw to it that he actually bowled right into his pads, didn't give him that width which he wanted, and the result, just 1 leg by. 149 for 6. This is over number 20.
So Karunaratne, there's a big gap over David Warner at mid-wicket. He can go straight. There's also plenty of room at cover if he's looking to score some runs here. 4 balls left. Hazelwood in. And it's a foolish ball outside off. I think Karunaratne, they'll be happy with that just to push through for the single so that Rajapakse can face the last 3 balls of this innings.
So Rajapakse has just got 3 deliveries now to show those cover drives which Kitch wants to see, if they at all happen, or at least score big scoring runs, big shots to take his team's total more towards 160, 165. We'll wait and watch. 3 more deliveries to go.
Well, they've got to your total, Sir Clive, 150. Let's hope they get a few more. So we've got to... No, the batsman's pulled away. Rajapakse's pulled away. This is the 2nd time or 3rd time he's done it this innings. And what seems to happen is, I think there's some corporate seating right behind the the sight screen, the black sight screen, and there's a continuation of people that continue to walk through that area. It happened a lot during the India-Pakistan game, so might need to be an official who gets down there and has a word, or maybe puts up a sign as a field change. We charged it, but that's surely got to be a wide. Yes, it is called. So more frustration on the face of Captain Aaron Prince.
Absolutely. With that, the scoreboard moves 151 for 6. 3 more deliveries left. There's been one leg by, one wide. The first ball was hit for 4. So it's a mixed kind of for over, but only 3 deliveries left to see where Sri Lanka is going to reach as far as their innings is concerned.
Hazelwood then again, it's on the leg side. Yeah, Rajapakse tries to lift that over the infield, but they'll only get the one. So Karunaratne is going to face his second last delivery, 152 for 6. Well, we've got to hope it's going to be enough.
This one is outside the off stump, and the batsman actually draws towards that, able to get a bit of a touch, but not enough to beat the fielder there. Goes straight to the field.
He's not that.
Rajapakse is way. Instead, they'll just get the single. So air action on the face of Rajapakse. He could have done more with that last over.
But very fine over. You must give credit to Hazelwood. But for that first boundary of his delivery, he followed the batsman most of the times, didn't allow him the space or the width to play a big shot, cramped him for space, hit his pads a couple of times. Yes, a couple of leg bys did go, but a very fine last over to bowl.
Yeah, I think we have to give Australia a lot of credit when you think they started Sri Lanka had. To pull them back to 154 is a marvellous effort. And if they have a very good chance of winning this game, unless they don't play the spin too well or they lose early wickets.
Well, we've seen one-sided games here, India, Pakistan, England and the West Indies. We're going to hope we can see a good challenge here tonight, a good chase from the Australians, because these are the 2 undefeated teams in Group 1. Mickey Arthur, do you think he'd be happy with that performance from his players tonight?
No, I think he would have thought that they were trying to run short. 170 gives you a little bit more to work with. And I think he would have thought, so unless, the only thing is that if Australia, early batsmen, dismissed in the first 10 overs or whatever, then they would have thought that they would be in a very difficult situation. But if they get a bit of a start, good pitch, and ball not doing that much, don't know if there's a bit of dew on. So even if there's dew, the spinners might not be able to grip the ball as well. So
to bat by Australia, won the toss. Their scorecard reads something like this. They've got 154 on the board, and they have given a target to Australia of 155. Nisanka got 7 of 9. Kusal Pereira 35 of 25.
Joining us tonight. Stocky, I saw the knee. Sorry, continue there, Anurag.
And Asalanka 35 of 27. Fernando 4 of 7. Rajapakse 33 of 26. Hasaranga 4 of 2. Dasun Shanaka 12 of 19. Karunaratne 9 of 6. All adding up with 15 extras. So there was a good contribution from extras there. 15 extras.
It was so there was plenty of wides and no balls. Well, I'll just interrupt you there as we'll go on field and hear the interview with Mitchell Starc.
First game here. A few guys have played in the IPL, so I think they think it's I guess a pretty stock standard score if you like. Definitely got the firepower in the sheds. A few partnerships and hopefully we're on the better.
Given where they were, been able to reel in Sri Lanka, and we've got a match on our hands here.
Absolutely. And just a quick look at the bowling. Starc 2 for 27, Cummins 2 for 34, and Zampa 2 for 12 in his 4 overs. I think he bowled pretty brilliantly.
I thought he
used the conditions well.
It was excellent. Marcus Stoinis, he got hit around for his final over of 3 for 35. Maxwell 1 for 16, and Pat Cummins, his 4 overs, 2 for 34. So the equation: Australia need 155 for victory from 120 balls. It's a run rate required of 7.75. We'll take a break and we'll come back with Australia needing 155 runs to win here at the Dubai International Stadium. You're listening to a Channel 2 Group global production. about to get underway for this second innings tonight. Australia versus Sri Lanka. It's Australia requiring 155 runs off 120 balls as Karunaratne comes in to face David Warner on strike, and he pushes that one to the onside for a single. Good evening, I'm Lachlan Kitchen. Joined alongside me is Anurag Malhotra, and we saw the Australians really rein in Sri Lanka, who dominated the first part of this match.
Absolutely, and I think Sri Lanka must be ruining it that they probably missed an opportunity. They should have probably got another 15-20 runs on the board. And now we have two of the most informed batsmen from Australia.
Clearly you're being sarcastic, Anurag.
No, I really wish, as they say, you always due for runs after a long drought. And probably one of them or both of them can get into some runs. That'll be very good for Australia, Kitch, and for you too.
Karunaratne, this second ball, it hits Aaron Finch on the pad. There's a big appeal. It's no, says the umpire. Will they take the DRS? They're looking no, and it's Karunaratne who is going to walk back to his position. So,
What would Aaron Finch be feeling after that ball struck his pad? His heart must be in his mouth.
it would definitely be. You know, he's under a lot of pressure. He knows that if he doesn't perform in this tournament, it could be, dare I say, the end of his T20 international career for Australia. He's a champion player,
Of course.
Victorian, and he'll back himself to come out of not the greatest of form he's been in. Karunaratne again, it's outside off, and that's what we want to see from Aaron. Beautifully placed through the offside, all along the boundary for 4 Australia, 5 for none.
Lovely shot, lovely cover drive from Finch, and that must have given him a lot of confidence. It hit right in the middle of the bat. You could hear the sound of timber, and it went beautifully racing to the boundary for 4 runs, and must be really making him feel good now, especially after the first ball jitter. A big appeal against him. Of course, he was not out. So Australia now 5 for no loss, and they need 155 to get these 2 points and stay on top of the table.
So it's a deep points and a deep square leg that Sri Lanka have placed outside the circle for this power play. Karunaratne comes in, and this one goes down the leg. There's an appeal from behind the wicket. No one comes in to try and pick up the ball, so Karunaratne has got to defend that.
Are they going for a review, Kitch?
Look, they're having a consultation. I don't think they are. Look, it was a ball that was pitching outside off. The impact was umpire's call, and then too much bounce.
Yeah, surprisingly getting a good amount of bounce, the pace bowlers, and he's bowling really quick. And so is Chabira, the other one, who bowls very, very quick. He's done about 150k in this tournament so far. So yes, this is a good contest here.
Karunaratne, 5 runs from his first 4 deliveries. Aaron Finch is the man on strike. It's wide outside the off stump, and this time, Aaron Finch does what he did 2 balls before. Beautifully plays that all the way along the ground. He's hungry for runs here. That's for Australia, 9 for none.
Lovely shot there by Aaron Finch. He got a bit of width there, got into position very quickly, played it very well, and the field is all in. And those 4 runs were there for his taking. And Australia happy. 9 for no loss, and still it's over number 1.
Every batsman knows you just need to get a good feel from the ball on the bat, just to get your confidence up again. 9 runs so far off this over. What's Karunaratne going to do? It's a shortish ball. That came back in a long way and fooled Aaron Finch. You like the look of that, Karunaratne. So ends the first over as Australia chased his target of 155 and 9 for none.
That was such a beautiful delivery. It had the bounce. It actually cut Aaron Finch into half. Absolutely, he had no chance. And very fortunate there that the ball, because of the bounce, it missed the wickets. Otherwise, it would have been trouble for Aaron Finch and for Australia. After over number 1, Australia is 9 for no loss.
Theekshana is the bowler at the other end. He comes into this team after recovering from a side strain, and he's going to be facing David Warner. So much talk about David Warner coming into this match. He was dropped from his Sunrisers Hyderabad IPL side, having been one of the great players of the IPL for the last 7 or 8 years.
Absolutely, no doubt about that. He's going through a very rough patch, but these are great players, Kitch. They will grab their opportunity, and once they come back into their form, they will again become as supreme as they used to be. And we have, admired his batting. He's batted so brilliantly in the IPL at this time. We have this pace and spin being introduced at the same time. So a lot of these captains experimenting these days, right up front, have a spinner and a pace bowler and just see what is working well for you so that you could probably continue, in the same vein. So we're seeing that again. It's Theeksana, the mystery spinner, and he's bowling.
It's the reverse sweep we've seen from David Warner. That's come out early, and it's proved very successful. It was the shot that got him out when he played India in the warm-up match prior to the start of the tournament. But it was complete success on this occasion. 4 runs to David Warner. He changed his... It was almost not a reverse sweep. He sort of changed to become a right-hander there.
Absolutely, the switch hit, and he's got 4 runs for himself, so it'll give him some confidence. And of course, he knows the field is in and he can take his chances. But he was very quick to decide on that when Theeksana came to bowl to him. This is Theeksana bowling the 3rd delivery. This is a better delivery, a little short of length, but straight into the stumps, and Warner just places it.
He's asserting his aggression on the bowler. He knows that Mahesh Theeksana is just 21 years of age. He'd be feeling a little bit of nerves coming into such a big tournament for Sri Lanka.
Absolutely, and Warner, next delivery, gives it respect, the respect it deserves. Well bowled and plays it quietly.
It's a good replay, that last one. Theeksana. And this time it goes into the pads of Aaron Finch, who just pushes it to the man behind points.
Australia 14 for no loss. This is over number 2. Theeksana has given a 4, and then he's a bit of a comeback from him. Just a single after that and a dot ball. Wants to keep Warner quiet because top batsmen, they fancy their chances against the spinners, the field in power play under operation. So we'll have to see. But Warner, definitely, he needs to come good today for himself, for his team. He's really overdue.
He dances down the crease, Aaron Finch, but he plays it on the onside. And they look to come back for 2. No, they won't. So another run gets added to the total. It's now 15 for none. That required rate now at 7.71. We were discussing, Sir Clive Lloyd in commentary earlier on was saying that he thought perhaps they were 15, 20 runs shy of where they needed to be.
Absolutely.
This is a good pitch, and this is a good Australian team.
It's a good batting pitch so far, whatever little we have seen. The ball is coming to the bat very nicely. And, there's a bit of a misunderstanding. But I think the misunderstanding was at Warner's end. Because Finch never moved from his position.
No, he didn't.
And Warner wanted to take that single. And then safely went back so that no damage is done. Australia 15 for no loss. This is a very, very critical match for both the teams. Australia versus Sri Lanka, and Sri Lanka put into bat, got 154 for the loss of 6 wickets, as we've been saying. About 15 or 20 shot, it would have changed the complexion. But it's Australia who still have to go and get those runs.
So Aaron Finch is the man on strike. Good crowd in here. We saw just before the start of play, we thought we might not get a good crowd, but there's a big Sri Lankan contingent. It's turned up tonight. They've brought their drums, they've brought everything else for a great community field.
It's going to the boundary, 4 runs. Lovely shot.
That's a great shot from Aaron Finch. It's often said a player in form can play the on drive very well. For the moment it left the bat, it was never in doubt.
Very well played, beautifully hit. I mean, as soon as it hit the bat, a 4 was written on that ball and raced down to the boundary there behind the bowler. Can't place a field for that kind of a shot, even if the field restrictions are off. So beautiful shot.
Slightly pitched up there from better ball than that to come back to Aaron Finch. Finch moves to 13 off 8, 4 but 3 boundaries he scored for that 13. David Warner 6 off 5. As it looks like Aaron Finch is wanting to change his bat. I think there might be a crack at the bottom. It's amazing how many bats the players travel with these days.
Yeah, kid, but whatever little we've seen of Aaron Finch, of course, he's played a couple of very good shots. The first over and this over, he's got himself to a good start here. But it's been a mixed bag so far. A couple of good shots and a couple of iffy shots as well. So as he goes along, I'm sure he's going to middle the ball even better.
Bit of ball from Chamira. This time Finch lands a defensive stroke.
Jamira started with 141 kilometers an hour. I mean, these Sri Lankan pace bowlers, they're actually bowling very quick.
They're getting some pace. We saw in the qualifying games in the week before the Super 12s, they were generating in Oman speeds of 140, 145. We knew they were going to be a real threat. It's Hasaranga. I mean, I like him. I'm looking forward to seeing what he can do to this Australian middle order later on tonight. Australia now 19 without loss. 2.2 overs gone. And Finch, he's looking busy at this crease as he pushes his one through on the onside just for the single, and the attempt does bring down the stumps.
And if you noticed, Warner took a very quick start, and that also encouraged Finch to respond to him, and the crossover for a very, very good single there. The ball was not played very far from the bat, but yet, because of the quick start, the early start, that single was made to look very easy.
If you're just joining us, thank you very much. You're listening to a Channel 2 Group Global Production. We are live from the Dubai International Stadium tonight. It's a hello to everyone listening through SABC South Africa, SEN in Australia and New Zealand, Sago Life Barbados, SLC Sri Lanka, and Digital 2 Sports in India. As Chamira continues with his first over, David Warner's gone big. He's mistimed it, but there's no one outside the circle on the offside, so they'll manage to scamper back for a single. I think he got lucky that time, David Warner.
Absolutely. He never got enough bat on that, and I think was a little late on that shot. And lucky for him because the field is in, no fielder there. But if he's going to continue in this way, when the field is going to be a little spread out after the power play, he could land himself into trouble. I think he needs to just get into his form, play more shots along the ground till he gains in confidence and can play the high-risk shots later.
Sri Lanka did very well. They were 1 for 78 at one point before Australia reeled them in. As Chamira comes in again and he cramps up David Warner, who just pushes that one through to third man for a single.
I think both the batsmen, they just need to build up a nice partnership, get themselves into some sort of a form. Of course, latch on to the loose deliveries, but at the same time, not to take undue risks because they have a good start here. They've got 23 of 2.5 overs, one more delivery left, and that's absolutely fine as far as the early overs are concerned. They need to watch against losing wickets.
They look good here, Warner and Finch. This is the best they've looked in quite a while. Confidence, quite assertive in their shot selection. Finch, this time, look, he's gone for the... Not sure what he was trying to do. It was sort of a straight pull shot, but he's mistimed it. And it's going to go down to mid-on without runs. So, end of the third over. Chamira's first over, it was an expensive one. He's gone for 8. Australia now 23 for none, chasing 155.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was saying. You saw the way Finch played the last delivery. Never got it. The timing was not there. And earlier we saw him hit that beautiful shot behind the bowler. So his innings is somewhere, he's still coming to terms with the pitch, with the pace, and with his own timing. And the more time he spends on the wicket with Warner, he is going to come into his own and probably will see some very, very beautiful shots from him.
So we're seeing footage of Josh Hazlewood. I think he's drinking a coconut water by the looks of it. I don't know if that's recommended by the dietitians these days.
Well, that's the only thing allowed.
Bowled well, Josh Hazlewood. He was one of the star bowlers in this Australian lineup. Didn't get a wicket, none for 26. Great length as Kumara comes on for his first over. It's going to be David Warner who's on strike. 9 runs off 7 balls for Warner. It's a full toss, a foolish ball. Warner's not able to do much with it, and he...
That's a sign of a batsman who's not in form. These deliveries, a full toss with the field in, I mean, Warner would have played that with his eyes closed to any part of the field and got a 4. But since he's a low on confidence, probably the timing is not there. You know, his foot movement is not there. He was not able to take that ball a little early and crack it to the boundary there. But early days, and both the batsmen, the main thing for Australia is both the batsmen are still there.
As Kumara comes in, this is his first over, second delivery to Finch, now on strike, who charges, pushes that through, misses the fielder at mid-off, and that goes all the way for 4. He's looking good, Aaron Finch. He's moving along, 18 off 12 deliveries.
What a shot that one was, you know. If somebody would have seen his earlier shot, one cannot say that it is Aaron Finch who played that shot and this shot. So it's been a mixed bag, but this one connecting it beautifully. What a fantastic off drive. Nobody moved, and the ball hit the fence.
Well, Kumara comes from a very famous cricketing school, that of being Trinity College in Canterbury. same college that produced Kumar Sangakkara, where even the test matches in Candy were played at one point at that school. As Finch cuts, and he cuts well. That's gone all the way. That's gone miles for 6. Well, he's amongst the runs now, Aaron Finch. He moves along to 24 off 13.
What a lovely shot, and suddenly Finch, his touch is coming back with that lovely off drive, and now this one, a bit of width, a lot of pace on that, and plays some kind of an uppercut, and flies all over that boundary rope for a beautiful 6. So Australia, a big move on here.
Small ground here, Dubai International Stadium. That 6, only 66 metres. Not many grounds in Australia, like Aaron Finch's home ground of the MCG, would he have got 6 with that shot? But here, silence the Sri Lankan crowd, who's showing some good support. 4 4s, 1 6 so far for the Australian captain. As Sri Lanka need wicket to slow down this run rate.
Absolutely, it's 34 for no loss. This is over number 4, and Kumara coming into ball. His 4th delivery already has given 11 runs in his 3 deliveries, and he's bowling to Finch.
Well, it's a slower ball. Finch picks it, and he's able to wait for it and just push it through to the vacant square leg position, and they'll push through for a single. So the equation, 120 runs required from 98 balls. These two batsmen continue in. We're not going to have much of a game, and I really want to see a contest here because it's been so one-sided, these matches in Dubai, Anurag.
Absolutely. I mean, anything which is competitive, which keeps the interest of everybody involved in place. I mean, you can always cheer for your home team, but a good match is welcomed by everybody. And very good batting there by Finch now, rotating the strike and not getting carried away with those 2 big hits he hit before that.
Well, 12 runs off the first 4 deliveries from Kumara, and this time, well, his head's dropped because it was at bottom edge from David Warner. It's raced away, it's missed the stumps, and it's gone for 4. So this is proving to be quite expensive. Shortish delivery, and it could have easily have hit the stumps.
He almost played it on, and yes, still David Warner's looking very iffy. Still, the lack of confidence is visible there in whatever little batting he has done so far. But he's been lucky. He should make the best use of it, stick around, and try to get himself back into form.
Kumara, what's he going to do for the final ball of his first over? It's a good one in the block hole. There was a chance of a caught and bowled.
That was a full-blooded drive. It was hard. It would have taken the bowler's hand with
it. Get a hand out for that. Instead, it goes for 4. So quite an expensive over there. 20 runs coming off it.
Yes, absolutely. What a great start for Australia. It's been a mixed bag as far as the stroke making is concerned, but since they haven't lost a wicket, they've got 43 on the board in 4 overs. I think they've done well for themselves.
As we have a change in commentary, Richard Allen's coming in to join Anurag Malhotra, and that ball was hit with such power. Even umpire Alim Dar, who was at the bowler's end, decided to take cover. So the equation, Australia needing 112 runs from 96 balls. Now 43 without loss.
Hello, everybody.
Richard Allen, you were supporting Sri Lanka coming into this match. He's still confident of the Sri Lankan match. I believe the quote was match of the tournament.
Well, there's still time.
Well, I hope so.
We need some wickets. That's what we need. We need some wickets right now. Jamira. Oh, he's been lobbed. He's been hit massively here by Finch. Right back over the bowler's head. That's another big 6. And Australia are making this look easy. It's 49 for naught.
Are Australia trying to do this in 10 overs?
I think they are. I think it's a T10 game. What's going on?
Finch.
He looks in good nick, doesn't he?
Stand and deliver. That one has cleared the boundary by a long way. It's about 75 metres. Straight boundary. It's gone well over 80 metres.
He's making these bowlers look pretty ordinary, which they're not.
I think Sri Lanka have got to change up their pace attack and move along to the spinners at this over. And the last one went from 20. They're bringing the run rate required from 7.5 down to nearly 6. And that's 2,500 runs for Aaron Finch in T20 internationals. He's playing well, 31 off 15.
Yeah, there's been some streaky runs as well, hasn't there? I mean, some of those bottom edges. Warner, he's got away with a couple. So, it's going to be your day, I suppose, when that happens. So, Jamira again to Finch, who cuts him away. That's down to third man, and that's it's a misfield. It's going to be 4 more. There should have been a couple at most. Another 4, 10 off 3.
matter what sport you watch, whether you're watching football, whether you're watching cricket or tennis, you can just sometimes tell when it's not going to be your day. And the way we've seen a few of these results here for Sri Lanka when he slid in at 4.
Finch facing again, this time a sort of prod down on the offsides, quickly runs single, so another 86%. I think I'd say that's fair.
I think it is. I think it's 2 out and then a shaky. What might happen, but I want to see the man who going on the big screen. Hasaranka, he's got the earring, he's got the gold chain, he's got the attitude of everything I like about a cricketer. And I want to see him on here to try and bamboozle the Aussies.
Yeah, we need a couple of quick wickets there for Sri Lanka. 101 is what they require from 93 balls. And these two are motoring away. And we're not out of the power play yet.
So it's a deep square leg. And there's also the third man in place. The last 12 balls producing 34 runs for the Aussies.
Ooh, swing and miss. Real fumble, isn't it? That's a real fumble.
The bowl is hard.
Oh no, yeah.
The umpire even had his finger halfway up.
Well, yeah, that's a let-off.
Samira comes in again. Could that be the change? The level wicket keeper.
That was a big one, wasn't it? Crystal Pereira.
Yeah, very frustrating.
So he had the gloves on it, and it's just bobbled out. Hugely disappointed. Disappointing Crystal Pereira. And they just needed something, and that was it. So 55 without loss, 100 needed from 91. Oh, what has happened there? That's the most bizarre ball of the tournament so far. Just slipped out of Jamira's hand and ended up going down to the slip.
When a bowler comes in and bowls a delivery, Richard, and lands on a pitch 2 over, that looks like something out of my North Sydney Bears team for a few years gone by. On a lazy Saturday afternoon, like any village cricket side.
Yeah, that was a village cricket delivery, wasn't it?
Yeah. Well, he's going to have to get back in. It sort of sums up the way Sri Lanka have been playing this. Already 12 runs coming off this over from Jamira. Look, that's going to be called a no ball.
Yeah. So we got some excitement here.
Mickey Arthur, Mickey Arthur, the Sri Lankan coach, was very excited at one point in the Sri Lankan innings.
That's full one, and straight to the man mid on, and there's going to be no run there. So dot ball to end, but that was expensive. Jamira's not for 21 after 2 overs. Australia 56 for 0. We've got one power play over to come. One is 19, Finch 36. Sri Lanka, they've got to pull something out of the proverbial hat, bag, whatever.
Can't see where the wicket's going to come from. It's got to come from a change of bowler. There's been a lack of intensity from the Sri Lankan side. It's really going to have to come from spin, I think, being brought on. This is a one-sided. It's reminiscent of the way Pakistan did against India. We saw them go through. Warner 19 off 12, Finch 36 off 19 as the